For those of you who have not done story time with me before, welcome. And
hi.
Hello. And there are many, many different ways to say welcome in Africa, which is not a country, but a huge continent, which means it has many, many different countries and regions. So I love seeing all these beautiful faces, both adults and kids. I love it. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so today, I wonder where we're going. We have been to Zimbabwe, Tanzania, South Africa, Nigeria, Morocco, Ghana, Kenya, Malawi, and Zambia. And I may have missed a few in between, but those are the places we have been. So today, let's show you where we are going in this huge continent. It's tremendous. Let's find out. Maybe we can do a drum roll. Everybody pretend you have a drum. Can you pretend you're playing a drum? And let's do a drum roll. All right, let's find out. We are going to Togo in West Africa. I'm going to go back so that I can show you well, not exactly, but where it is on the map, and it will not let me. Anyway, it is right here next to Ghana, which is where I am from and where I was born. And interestingly enough, my mother's family are from Togo. So let's go back to the map of Togo. It's small. It's a long, thin country, and the capital city is Lomé. Can you say Lomé? Lomé.
Lomé.
Okay.
Lomé.
One person said it. Can everybody say it? I'm going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3.
Lomé.
Yay! Good job, Lomé. That is the capital city of, what country are we in?
Togo. Togo.
Togo, very good. It looks like to go, but it's pronounced Togo, okay? So the languages that are spoken there are many, but the 3 that I'm going to point out are Ewe, excuse me, and we're actually going to learn a few words in Ewe today, so get ready. We have Ewe, we have something called Fon, which is a mixture of Ewe and another language, excuse me, and then French. And French is actually the national language of Togo, even though that's not the original language, because French is from France, from Europe. And then there's a whole lot more. So this is the flag of Togo. Does it look like the flag of the United States?
Nope.
What's the difference?
If it was with less stripes, less stars, if it like had a lot of detail taken away and a certain
If it were just different, right?
Yes.
Good, yes. But this is the flag of Togo. So you have the red in the background, which is a symbol of the struggle that the people had to reach their independence from France. And sometimes with struggles, especially for independence in countries, there comes a lot of war and a lot of bloodshed, people losing their life, sacrificing their life for that independence. So that's what that red is. The white is the star of hope. Green is the land, and gold or yellow are the resources, excuse me, and all the wonderful natural things in the country. So that is the flag of Togo. I want you to remember that because you will be doing something with it later. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get on with our story. It's called The Disobedient Daughter's Marriage. Do you know what it means to be disobedient?
Yes.
Levi?
It just means that, you don't behave nicely, you don't listen to your parents, and you just don't listen at all.
Very good. And then somebody else next to Miss Maddie, I don't know your name. So Miss Angel, next to Miss Angel, say your name?
I'm Ava.
Annie?
Ava.
Oh, Ava, I'm sorry. All right, Ava, what does it mean to be disobedient?
I was going to say to not follow the rules.
Exactly. When you don't follow the rules, you are disobedient. So This is the story about the disobedient daughter's marriage, and we're going to learn just a few words in Ewe, E-W-E, before we continue. So the first word we're going to learn is the word for woman, which is nyonu. Can you say nyonu?
Nyonu.
Oh, good, nyonu.
Nyonu.
So you need that nya before you start. And if you notice, I put the stressed words or the stressed part of the word in red, and then black is normal. So nyonu is woman. Let me hear you say it again. 1, 2, 3.
Nyonu.
Nyonu, very good. Okay. Adults, you can join in too, by the way. So then, look at this. Girl,
This is Nyonu.
nyonu vi.
It's a Nyonu.
Nyonu vi.
Nyonu.
Good, Ava, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Nyonu vi.
Nyonu.
Everybody, 1, 2, 3.
Nyonu.
Very good. And let me break this down for you. We just learned that nyonu is woman. V means small. So that's what a girl is. Now,
She's the
the
small.
word daughter is going to blow your mind. Because, look, it's V nyonu.
Nyonu.
V nyonu. Very good. That's daughter. Literally, it means small or child, small child, female of woman. So now we have the other character, which is a man, Nuchu. Can you say Nuchu?
Nuchu.
That's new.
Yeah, when you do your oo, like ooh, it's not you, but ooh, Nuchu.
Nuchu.
Yes, very good. Everybody, let's try it together. 1, 2, 3. Nuchu. All right, next we are going to learn what this is. Do you know what this is in English?
What's that?
It's a
That's
skull.
a skull.
That's right, it's a skull.
It's a skull.
And
Oh,
in Ewe, it's called, are you ready for this? Takligo. Yeah, it's a hard one.
Takligo.
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 Let's try it all together. 1, 2, 3.
Takligo.
Very good.
I mean,
All right, so you will see why we need this. So now I am going to go ahead and tell you the story. Are you ready for it? I don't believe you. Are you ready for the story?
Yes.
Okay. So once upon a time, I have to have my drum ready. There was a chief in a village. His name was Effion Edem. Can you say Effion Edem?
Eden.
Effion Edem. That was his name. And he had a wife. We don't know her name, but he had a wife. And together they had this beautiful, beautiful daughter. Her name was Effion. Can you say that? Effion. And remember, the word for man, which is the chief, is Nuchu. And the word for daughter is Vinyonu. Okay, so let's continue. Effion, the Vinyonu daughter, very vain. Vain means she thought she was the most beautiful girl in all land. So everybody had to look at her, and she was the only thing that mattered because, again, she was the most beautiful. So every day she would walk around the town.
I have a boo-boo.
Walk around the village with her head very high, not looking at anyone and not listening to anyone because she thought she was the best thing in the whole village. Okay. Well, she was very beautiful, and there were very, very many young men in the village who wanted to marry her because she was beautiful. But her parents wanted to make sure she married the right man. So there were many, many suitors, meaning many different men who were interested in marrying her. There came one who was very old. So he walked very slowly and he talked very slowly. Do you think she wanted to marry him?
No.
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 Which is kind of sad.
That is a little sad, but that's the kind of person she was. She looked at the man and said, no, too old, no, too slow, next. So then there was another one who came in, and he was not as old, but he was very round. So he too was a little slow. And by the time he came into the house, he was sweating. So what do you think happened? Did she say yes or no?
He's probably like, nope.
He said no, which is not very nice because he could be a very nice person, right?
Yeah. Same for the old man.
Exactly, that's right. So he left, and then right after the other, there came a man. There was always something wrong. He was either too old, too skinny, too slow, too fast, something. They were all not right for her. So one day, in what is called the spirit world, there was Takligo, the skull, who was looking up into the human world, and he saw Afion, and he thought she was the most beautiful human female that he had ever seen. So immediately he wanted to marry her. So remember, he's a skull. How was he going to make himself look like a human so that he would present himself to her and her parents? This was a problem. So he thought and thought, and then he came up with a plan. In between the spirit and the human world, there is a little border. And at that border, somebody has to meet him to bring him to the human world. When he met that person, he said, could you please let me borrow your arm? And the person thought, why would you want my arm? And Takligo skull said, because I don't have any. So the person was very nice and said, okay, sure. Here is my arm. And Takligo got an arm. But at this point, he was a skull and an arm. Is that enough?
No.
No. What else does he need?
Legs, a body.
A body? Okay. So he asked the same man to bring a different person where he got a different arm. Then that person brought a different person. He got a leg. Then he got another leg. Then he got a body. And by the time everything was said and done, Skull, Takligo, became a man. He looked like a man, but more importantly, he looked like a very handsome man. Do you think this would make Afion happy?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, let's find out. So he got to the village and he walked up to her house, and he walked not too fast, not too slow. He walked just the right pace and went up to the door of the parents' home where she lived and knocked. The door opened and he presented himself and he said, I understand that there is a very beautiful young woman here who would like to be married. And the parents said, yes, but who are you? And he said, my name is Takligo. And they invited him into the house. They offered him something to drink and something to eat. And when he saw Afion, he could not speak. He could not eat. She was the most beautiful, beautiful woman he'd ever seen. And when she saw him, she could not speak. She couldn't do anything. He was the most beautiful man he had ever seen. So immediately, of course, she wanted to marry him. But the parents said, wait, you don't know him. We don't know him. We don't know where he's from. And she said, well, that's okay. We have time to find that out, but I'm more than willing and happy to marry him. Isn't that what you have wanted me to do all this time? So the parents looked at each other and they thought about it. That is true. So they said, okay, 2 days. We invite Takligo to stay here for 2 days, and then we will see what happens. So he stayed there for 2 days. He was very nice. He was helpful to the parents, and he did everything as he was told. So after the 2 days, they thought, okay, good enough. You can marry her. And he said, that's fine, but we need to be married right away because I live in a land far away, and it's a long travel, and we need to go. So that's what happened. They got married, and then Takligo took Afyong's hand and they began the journey to what she didn't know was the spirit world. And they started walking, and it was a very long time before they reached that border between the human world and the spirit world. And at that point, Afyong became afraid because she did not understand where she was. She was looking forward to this adventure to a new land, but this was not recognizable to her. So eventually they got to the spirit world, and everybody body that she saw or thought was a body looked different than any human being she had ever seen, and she became afraid. So they went to his house. The door opened slowly, and there was this very old woman who happened to be Takligo's mother. She was very sick, very slow, very frail. And Afyong, for the first time in her life, was very compassionate, which means she was very nice. She helped the old woman, cooked for her, cleaned for her, and made sure that she was well taken care of. And because of this, the old woman began to like Afyong and really care for her. And she told her, listen, you have to be careful. Where we are, it's not like where you're from. The beings here that you think are people are not people. They actually eat people. So you have to be careful. And she was afraid. Wouldn't you be afraid if someone or something told you that people are eaten where you are? Would you be afraid?
I think they're lying.
Yeah.
If I leave them, I would just leave and.
Well, she couldn't just leave. She had to be brought with Takligo, and at the same time, she can't just leave. There's a different way because she's in the spirit world. But the old woman came up with a clever idea. She had a good friend, the clever spider. Many of you have met Spider before, right? So Spider came up with the idea to change how she looked. So she would not look like a human being, but one of them. And then he would ask some of his friends, the wind, to come and carry her back to the human world. And that's exactly what happened. Now, what happened was the first wind that came was way too strong, too violent. So the spider said, no, we need another one. So there came another one that was gentler and eventually carried her all the way back to the human world. And her parents saw her and were very happy because they thought they would never see her again. But here she was back, and this time she was nice and she was willing to listen to her parents. So their parents were so happy that they threw a big party for her, invited everybody. There was a lot of dancing, a lot of singing, and lots of good food. And then there was an older man that came and asked to marry Afyong. And at that point, her parents already knew this man. And they asked Afyong, because they knew how picky she was, if it was okay. And she said, I know him, you know him, so I am willing to marry him. He is a good person and he will take very good care of me. And that's exactly what he did. And they ended up having lots of children and living a very, very happy, long life. So, what do you think you learned from this story?
To
Yes,
not be
Ava.
picky.
Ava?
To not be picky.
To not be picky. That's one lesson. How about Levi?
Treat others kindly with respect.
Treat others kindly and with respect. And anyone else?
I have something else.
Yes, Ava.
That no matter how someone looks, they could be a nice person.
Exactly. No matter how somebody looks, you should always treat that person very nicely. And I think, is that the EJ and Eli? Yeah, is that E-Marie? I can't tell who that is, but yes. Did you want to say something? Okay, I don't know. But welcome, I'm glad you're here. Okay, so yes, always be respectful, treat somebody nicely, even if you don't know that person, because that person could be very nice and be very helpful. Okay, so we have learned the story. Now it's time to get up and dance. Okay, so everybody make sure you have lots of space. And I am going to get this music ready.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's do this. Okay, I'm going to ask everybody to mute because we will not be speaking now. So if you can mute yourself. Very good. Good. Okay, so now we're going to learn a dance or a song. The song is from Togo. It's called Gueta, and we're going to learn how to do the Gueta. There's a lot of freestyling in the song. So you will hear the singer say freestyle, and I want you to do anything you want to do. But I'm going to teach you a few things, okay? So whenever the singer says Gueta, let me make sure you can see me. Okay. Whenever the singer says Gueta, you're going to move to the step together, and bring your hip out. That's the Gueta, okay? So he says, Gueta, mama, Gueta, just like that, okay? So that is how you do the Gueta. Can I see everybody do it? 5, 6, 7, and Gueta, mama, Gueta. Good. Yes. Very good. That is the Gueta. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to clap. We're going to pretend we're in the party when Afion came home. So we're going to clap and march at the same time. And then we're going to step out together, step out together, step out together, step out together. Let's try that. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Step out together. Other side. 2 more. Good. Very good. And then after this, he's going to say freestyle. So you can do anything you want. And then after the freestyle and a lot of different dancing, he's going to do the Gueta, mama, Gueta. So make sure you're watching me, okay? But after the first cycle, I'm going to spotlight different people because I want to see you, okay? So make sure your camera stays on. All right, are you ready to dance? Give me a thumbs up or something. Yes, okay. Let's get this music.
Alors les dit,
There we go.
alors les dit,
You ready?
alors les dit, alors les dit, alors les dit, alors les Gueta. Freestyle. Huh. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. I fit. Yeah. I fit. Yeah. I fit. Sueme. Everybody, Gueta! Gueta! Mama! Gueta! Mama! Gueta! Mama! Mama! Alors les dit, alors les dit, alors les dit, alors les Gueta. Freestyle. Yeah. yeah, 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 I don't know, mama, I don't know, mama, I don't know, mama. Sueme. Everybody, Guanta! Guanta! Mama! Guanta! Mama! Guanta! Mama! Mama! Alors les dit, alors les dit, alors les dit, alors les Guetta, Guetta, Guetta. Freestyle. Ngalejo, Guetta, Ngalejo, Guetta, Ngalejo, Guetta, Mama, Dr. Guetta. Yeah, yeah, Sueme. Everybody, Guanta! Guetta! Mama! Guetta! Mama! Guetta! Mama! Mama! Alors les dit, alors les dit, alors les dit, alors les Guetta, Guetta, Guetta. Freestyle. I don't know be dirty, mama no dirty, the Guetta. Dirty there, dirty there, dirty there. I don't know feel the dirty, mama no Guetta the dirty. I don't know feel the dirty. Sueme. Everybody, Guanta! Guanta! Mama! Guanta! Mama! Guanta! Mama! Mama! Alors les dit, alors les dit, alors les dit, alors les Guetta, Guetta, Guetta. Freestyle. I don't know feeling the dirty. Guetta, mama, 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 I don't know, mama, village, mama, I don't know. Sueme. Freestyle. Sueme. Guetta, mama, Guetta, mama, Guetta, mama, mama. Alors les dit, alors les dit, alors les dit, alors les Guetta, Guetta, Guetta.
Yay, good job. Very good. Woohoo! Ha! That was fun. You can unmute yourself now. You can unmute. Let's see. Ooh, did you enjoy dancing? Yeah. Oh yeah. Good.
Good. It's good. It's great.
Good. And let's see. Did you enjoy the story?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. So let's make
I
sure.
like how with every story it teaches you an important lesson.
That's right. So let's make sure that you remember a few things. So what country did we go to today?
Togo.
Okay. Levi, let's give other people a chance to answer, okay?
Okay.
What's the capital city of Togo? It starts with L.
Do you know the capital of Togo, Joe?
Lomé. Lomé. Very good. And let's see, what else? Some of the words, I'm not going to make you tell me because they're a little difficult, I understand. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them up on Facebook as well as the website. So I want you to look at this. Do you see this flag of Togo?
Yes.
Okay. I would love for you to draw a picture of that flag. Can you do that? Yeah, you are more than welcome to take a picture if you need, but I want you to draw and color for me for the next time so you can show me a picture of this flag. So thank you so much for joining me for African Story Time and for dancing with me. And that is the word for thanks in Ewe. Akpa.
Akpa.
Akpa. Very good. Akpa is